He is an artist from Brazil, and we are going to be looking at some of his apple drawings and paintings. He uses a lot of bright and bold colors with strong lines and patterns. So first thing we are going to do is draw our apples with a black marker or black crayon. He uses a lot of those thick, dark lines. So we're not going to need our colored markers for a minute, so we can not worry about those. Just put those to the side. Make sure on your paper you have your first and last name and your class code. This might be your class code, it might not be. But remember, it's your grade and the first letter of your teacher's name. So if you are in second grade in Miss Brewster's class, your class code will be 2-B. Okay, so the first step to drawing our apple, we're going to start with putting the apple in the middle of the paper. I need a good marker. Then we're going to add a stem, some leaves. The leaves are kind of an almond shape where it curves up like a smiley face and down on the top like a frowny face. So we'll have 2 leaves on each side. I'm going to add a little shelf for our apple to sit on. Now, Romero Britto divides his composition or his artwork into several different sections. Go ahead and go all the way across. We'll draw some diagonal lines. Now, in each different section that we've created, you can add different patterns. We looked at those patterns on the board earlier when we were going over the videos. And let's also talk about coloring with markers. When you're coloring with a marker, let's look at 2 different ways. Now, these markers that you have are just the thick washable markers. If we're trying to color in an area and we're just using the tip of the marker, it's going to take us a while. And there's all these white spaces. That means we're not doing our very best at coloring in every spot. So what you can do, instead of holding it straight up and down like that, if you hold your marker on the side where it's a little bit bigger and wider, you can just go back and forth right next to the mark you already made, and it will color in all the way. So, now that we know which way to use a marker, we can go back and add our different patterns. I'm going to make a striped pattern first in one of my sections. Your whole entire paper will be colored in. You will not leave any white spots. Sometimes he uses stripes, sometimes it's polka dots. Sometimes he uses flowers. It is your choice to decide what pattern you're going to use for each different area. You will have today and next week to work on this. You should be able to finish this project in 2 class periods.